Hello, good evening. A warm welcome to one and all from my end to yours. I am Maria Cristina Asbucan from the Philippines, and I am your host for tonight. Okay, so I am happy to be here once again, and we are having our webinar tonight, and I hope that you will also enjoy. Before that, okay, I would like to tell you something more about IGP, okay, or Institute for Global Professionals. Okay, this one is actually an educational institution that provides learning to those who are interested. With the mantra, feed your skills, it's very important for us. And it is what they call this one, it is very handy to all of us professionals who are willing to learn and continuously learning. All right. So the IGP organizes, I should say, the IGP organizes seminars and webinars, both offline and online courses by best trained speakers. So it will be nice to have this kind of webinar because we will be learning a lot of things. As they say, learning is a continuous process. So tonight, I would like us to relax and take down notes if necessary. Let us learn and enjoy the lessons. For tonight, we have a special guest, and she is actually from Greece. Okay, and we are very honored because she will be sharing her knowledge about the topic building STEM skills through environmental education. We are done with webinar number 639, and this webinar for tonight is webinar number 640. So, as I have said, I hope that from my end to yours, you will be enjoying our webinar for tonight. Okay, so let us try to enjoy and relax and listen to our beautiful speaker for tonight. Her name is Ma'am Rania Lampu. She's very pretty and she is from Greece. Okay, so I would like us to also, before that, before she will come in, we would like to remind everybody it would be nice to invite our friends, our neighbors probably, to participate with us because we will not be containing only the learnings within and among ourselves. It would be better to share this one to everybody. So, all participants are requested to mention your five friends in your post. You mention them so that by mentioning them, they will also be invited at the same time and they will be joining us for tonight. Okay? So I hope that we will enjoy. Once again, I would like us to meet our speaker for tonight for webinar number 640 with the topic Building STEM Skills Through Environmental Education, no other than Miss Rania Lampu from Greece. Okay, may I invite Ma'am Lampu, Ma'am Rania?
Greetings from Greece.
Right, she is getting in already. Hello, ma'am. Hello,
Hello,
ma'am.
hello. From Greece, thank you very much. I want to thank IGP for this great opportunity and always kind invitation. I am Tanya Lampo. I am a multi-awarded global educator, STEM instructor, researcher, author. I'm working at the Greek Astronomy Space Company and also the Greek Ministry of Education, the Directorate of Education and Technology and Innovation, where I'm writing STEM projects for Greek schools. And today we're going to explore environmental awareness, environmental education, and how this can be combined with STEM education, which I always say in my presentation, STEM is the future of education, and how this combination can serve the goal of global citizenship And we also talk about sustainability, education, economy, and business. So let me now share my presentation.
Wow. So there are a lot of things learning for tonight. So without much ado, let's learn and grow together. Ladies and gentlemen, once again presenting to you Ma'am Rania Lampu. A virtual applause for her.
Can you see my presentation
Yes, ma'am?
and the change of slides also?
Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So the 2030 agenda considers education a key strategy to accomplish important environmental goals. We all know about sustainable development goals or global goals that are designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. SDGs were set in 2015 by United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by the year 2030. So education must answer the environmental issues, defining not only new relevant objectives and contents, but specific teaching programs to empower people and students. And from this point of view, schools have to establish new educational projects to create an essential context to incorporate SDG in its governance. So these ideas encourage us to begin actually a research to know and assess a student's connection between knowledge and behavior towards the environment, bearing in mind the attitude and involvement with the improvement of the environment. School as an institution which is devoted to knowledge creation and spreading teaching has an undeniable prominence in the spreading and application of possible solutions and alternatives to socio-environmental issues that currently society is facing. So the experiences and learning of educational community are vital to reach a change towards sustainability culture. Sustainable development education contributes to developing competencies in sustainability among students, such as critical and creative thinking, problem-solving strategies, capacity to act, collaboration, systemic thinking. So these students will be potential change actors with the ability to shape a more sustainable society. So the 2030 agenda presents this international consensus that incorporates the key elements of sustainable development. It's multidimensional dimensionality, that means environmental, social, economic sustainability, they directly linked and cannot be tackled separately. And what we call transnationality, that means that sustainable development faces transborder obstacles and has effects that require tackling at different levels of government. And despite its limitations, the agenda is an opportunity, of course, for progress, developing coherent policies and building global citizenship. Local governments have built up with significant experience in development education and global citizenship education. They focus on links between local and global dynamics from a perspective of justice and solidarity with the aim of fostering aware, critical citizens committed to human rights, peace, sustainability, and democracy in the world. So when we talk about global citizenship, this global teaching usually develops knowledgeable and engaged global citizens who are open, who are positive towards other cultures, who are sensitive. This concept of global citizenship refers to a level of citizenship that brings diverse people together in the communal concern and responsibility to resolve shared problems. So teaching global citizenship can lead to increased cultural diversity, increased interconnectedness, and increased independence. And the act of becoming aware, trying to resolve communal issues, is expressed as engagement, which is the hallmark of global citizenship. The outcome of global citizenship is, of course, awareness that leads to action. It's action that will be going to bring about change. So today we talk about environmental deterioration, a series of environmental complications arising, over global warming, land pollution, deforestation, or climate change, among others. And the worsening of these problems evidences that we are not only facing environmental deterioration, it's far beyond this. There has been a wide general change towards environment and sustainable development, and And also, there has been a general change because of human action, which has a direct and exponential effect on the planet. And this is why people have begun to take part and declare a change of attitude towards the environment and sustainable development. And these attitudes have an impact on behaviors, although we are aware that there is not a direct connection. It is subject to the diversity of situational and personality factors. But the important is not only is the role of primary, secondary education important, but the university is a key participant in the promotion of sustainable human development. It's important to mention the Conference of Rectors of Spanish Universities in May 2018. This declared that in this conference, they affirmed the support policymakers affirmed the support to the Agenda 2030 helped in the Spanish Plan of Action to implement the agenda and SDGs. So in March 2019, the Group Commission for Agenda was created to coordinate all joint actions for the achievement of the objectives and to raise environmental awareness among the university community. The essential objectives are, of course, the promotion of the agenda for sustainable development implementation process, the international commitment to reaching sustainable development where the universities have a key role, and of course, according to this sustainable development goal 4 is the cornerstone of SDGs. So we talk about SDG 4, ensure inclusive, equitable, quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. So universities share a key role in the implementation of SDGs through the wide variety of educational and learning activities. It could be through graduate or postgraduate studies or through professional training or other adults teaching, company teaching, distance learning. And of course, the research, because creating and spreading knowledge through research and innovation must provide solutions for the challenges and problems of the present world, helping SDGs and environment. And to do so, cross-sectional contacts and networks are necessary both in universities and other higher education institutions, research centers, or other society organizations. So knowledge transfers to society is also important. What is knowledge transfers to society is the connection between society and university, and the connection, this because the progress and welfare of society depends on this link. And of course, how to, this is the reason why dialogue and cooperation are so important to reach a solution for the most urgent problems of humanity. So the university as institution has a responsibility and essential mission to give knowledge, innovation, results of its research back to society, as well as training people with a critical awareness and commitment to the principles and values of sustainable development. And another important role is to generate more opportunities for training students and professionals in developing countries to cope with challenges connected with SDGs. Now, what are the 4 pillars of sustainability? First of all, the term sustainability is broadly used to indicate programs, initiatives, and actions aimed at the preservation of particular resource. However, it actually refers to 4 distinct areas: human, social, economic, environmental, known as the 4 pillars. So we talk first of all human sustainability. Human sustainability encompasses the development of skills and human capacity to support the functions and sustainability of the organization and promote the well-being of communities and society. Economic sustainability aims to maintain the capital intact. If social sustainability focuses on improving social equality, economic sustainability aims to improve the standard of living. Social sustainability incorporates the idea of sustainable development, and the principle of sustainable development addresses social and economic improvement that protects the environment and supports equality. Therefore, the economy and society and the ecological system are mutually dependent. Environmental sustainability places emphasis on how business can achieve positive economic outcomes without doing any harm in the short or long term to the environment. So environmentally sustainable business seeks to integrate all these 4 sustainability pillars, and to reach this aim, each one needs to be treated equally. Environmental education. Education is coincides with what we call education for sustainable development. And this approach tries to gather the tradition of environmental education. Nowadays, it is promoted by the highest international organizations. Um, and we need to, when we talk about environmental education, we need to understand the socio-environmental issues and their dimensions. And you know, a type of environmental education which is necessary to achieve SDGs and leads us to think to the students that have a positive attitude towards the achievement of SDGs, evolving and changing towards an education for sustainable development. And our research shows that tries to highlight the need to understand these social environmental issues while considering that the environment as a group of interrelations between the natural world and the social world. Among the benefits of environmental education is that what we call biophobia, a nature deficit disorder, um, decline as students are exposed to nature according to research because environmental education fosters creativity, appreciation, and respect for the environment. So it combats this nature deficit disorder. It's something that is fun. Um, it helps address some of the health issues we are seeing in children today, such as obesity, attention deficit disorder, depression. So good nutrition is often emphasized through environmental education. Stress is reduced due to increased time spent in nature. Environmental education promotes a sense of place and connection through community involvement. When students decide to learn more or take action to improve the environment, they actually reach out to community experts, to donors, to volunteers, and local facilities to help to bring the community together to understand and address environmental issues impacting the neighborhood. Environmental education promotes course-active learning um, and citizenship and student leadership, and help students understand how their decisions and actions affect the environment, builds knowledge and skills necessary to address complex environmental issues, as well as ways um, we can take action to keep our environment healthy and sustainable for the future. For instance, we can mention service learning programs that are offered and other environmental education organizations provide students and teachers with support through grants and through other resources for action projects. Environmental education helps empowers youth to share their voice and make a difference, promotes active learning, citizenship, student leadership, as I said before. And a very important chapter in environmental education, in sustainable development education, is green energy. Green energy comes from natural sources such as sunlight, wind, rain, tides, plants can thermal heat. These energy resources are renewable, naturally replenished, um, and fossil fuels, on the other hand, are not renewable, are a finite resource that take millions of years to develop and will continue to diminish with use. Renewable energy sources have also a smaller impact on the environment than fossil fuels, which produce pollutants as greenhouse gases as a byproduct contributing to climate change. Um, there are also other less known sources of green energy, such as biomass. What is biomass? Biomass is organic material originated from plants, animals, and other organisms. Corn grain, stover, soybean, switchgrass, straw, and wood chips are commonly used biomass for energy purposes in the USA. So heat power and biofuel energy generated for biomass are all these are collectively called biomass energy. And biofuel has 29% less greenhouse gas emissions than fossil. Another important and interesting topic is actually it's a very controversial subject. Many scientists promote thorium as a clear energy fuel because thorium nuclear reactions do not produce atoms heavier than uranium. And uranium 238 that are the main health concern in nuclear waste. Therefore, nuclear energy plants that use thorium are not considered to be against the principles of green energy. So why should someone promote utilizing thorium as a form of green energy? So far, solar and wind energy cannot cover much of the world energy production until the problem of mass storage of electricity is resolved. So renewable energy contribution to the world energy production will have to increase by the end of the century. So the dispersed and fluctuating nature of these energy sources also implies an important extension of the electric grid. And furthermore, when there is no wind and no sun, wind and solar energies are replaced by fossil fuels, often with coal-fired power plants, as for instance in Germany, which makes German citizens among the biggest polluters in Europe. Germany has one of the highest carbon dioxide emissions per capita. Of course, like other forms of non-renewable energy, using thorium can present many challenges. What challenges, for one thing, we don't have enough experience with this element, and many types of nuclear reactors are not ideal for it. Furthermore, it requires more energy to be prepared as a nuclear fuel. In the short term, it can be more dangerous than uranium because the gamma rays that are produced, but long term are much friendlier to the environment. So there's a lot of work to be done in general for humans to combine economic activity and environmental protection. So today we talk about the current economic and social crisis invites us to discuss about sustainable education, environmental innovation as a basis for a new techno-economic and social paradigm. And this is founded on savings of energy and resources from development of renewable energies. Um, in 20 and 21st century, the Western world economy has gone through many stages. For example, after the Second World War, there was a shortage of products. It was necessary to organize the work according to scientific management. It, as a result, employment and prosperity increased. But what relates to the human factor at work still remained unchanged. This led to alienated behaviors and separated workers from the creative process and their own creations. This is shown in a very original way by Charlie Chaplin in the film Modern Times in 1936. And 4 decades later, there were enough reasonably priced quality products and product development sped up. And this fact gave the consumer a lot of choices. Automation was necessary to speed up the production and to keep products the variety clients demanded. Halfway the 90s, stock market and Anglo-Saxon management became important. Nowadays, 80% of the companies in Europe are governed by shareholder value, and there are large-scale investments in information systems. And these systems are necessary to deliver the quality promised to clients. And in 2000, during the Lisbon conference, government leaders promised to make Europe the most dynamic, competitive knowledge economy in the world. Unfortunately, it seems that the knowledge and the technology that they were so strongly promoted then do not have many applications to companies and institutions. And this is what we call innovation paradox, the divide between inventions and utilization. So why sustainability? Because we all know about this definition. I think sustainability is an important factor because it ensures that future generations have the same amount of well-being. It's very important to place emphasis on efficiency and prevention of waste of resources. So this the definition is most common, most popular is that sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So sustainability consists of many parameters such as conservation of capital and stability of systems. And although there is no alternative to sustainability, companies usually still think that sustainability will compromise their competitiveness and will not deliver immediate financial benefits. The developing green product seems to them like a disadvantage against their competitors in developing countries who are not subjected, for instance, to sustainability pressures. And that's why becoming sustainable is treated as a burden, usually, or as an impediment for the company objectives. And of course, this is not simply true because why? Because becoming environmental friendly lower costs. For example, reduces the need for elaborate packaging, increases profits because clean products are better quality products. And smart companies consider sustainability, of course, as a source of innovation. Sustainability gives actually the competitive advantage and gives impetus to development. Why STEM? STEM is a field of education. It's not only about science, technology, and mathematics, and we add we have arts also. Why? Because we need to emphasize the value of arts alongside with technical entrepreneurial skills. So we talk about blended activities. We are in the model of knowledge-intensive industry model, knowledge-intensive economy. STEM-based skills is very important. We need a competitive STEM-based skills as way to secure a strong economy and capable workers. The term is introduced was in the late 90s in the United States by the National Science Foundation. STEM project focused on inquiry, student-led investigations to open-ended real-life problems and hands-on activities inspire students to become out-of-the-box thinkers and creators. And what are, of course, STEM education reflects the 21st century skills, the four C's, as we all know: creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, communication. And what are the characteristics of STEM educated students? They are problem solvers, they're innovators, they are inventors, they are self-reliant, they are logical thinkers, and technologically literate. Um, what are the principles of STEM learning? Learning should be a lifelong process. Learning should include everyday experiences. Educators and students should be involved in research. New technologies should define the content and practices of STEM. Broader societal and political factors should be considered, and it's also important for students to deal responsibly with technology. Why? Because this provides students with confidence and competence to function effectively as informed citizens that can participate to democratic civic decision making, and these skills are necessary in the 21st century in order for people to deal with modern life complex situations. This is why STEM is important, because STEM is actually it's about hands-on activities that have to do with real authentic problems that we give to students in our classroom, such as the problems that students will face later in their life. These skills are necessary, and these capabilities need to be developed in people from an early age, if it's possible in preschool age, because this is the most effective way of developing complex skills. However, STEM remains a misleading curriculum concept, meaning that it is not an integrated reality in many high schools anywhere in the world. STEM integration is still not well understood by teachers. But there are some countries that have integrated STEM in their curriculum, such as Australia or USA. So, according to UNESCO, advances in STEM have already brought about improvements in many aspects of life, such as health, agriculture, infrastructure, renewable energy. STEM education is also key for preparing students for the world of work, enabling entry into demand STEM careers of tomorrow. And the skills required by STEM education are even referred by World Economic Forum as a measurement of the future preparedness of the countries. So far, we talk about authentic STEM education has been practiced sporadically in schools. We suggest that there are two driving reasons for this. Engineering, for instance, is not a subject area in the elementary school curriculum. And second, pre-service teachers are not trained in engineering discipline. And globally, the other three components of STEM education, science, technology, and mathematics, have curriculum documents and constitute elements of initial teacher education programs. Since engineering is an elusive subject for primary schools, it has been proposed that E in STEM should be renegotiated as environmental considerations. Today, students are very different from previous generations. They have been called the generation born digital, digital natives, in comparison to the previous generation called digital immigrants. There are web-based applications promote learning in many ways. Web-based applications that are easy to access from anywhere and easy to use, and gives opportunity for people to learn in an authentic way through real-life inspired activities. Education for sustainable development is actually the aim of is to empower students to participate in sustainable future, shaping sustainable future. This requires a reorientation of current education systems. Education for sustainable development should develop individuals' values, knowledge, skills, and competencies for sustainable living and participation. Very important, it is education for sustainable development is characterized by contextual, locally relevant learning. That means that if you want, for instance, to teach something, a chapter about the environment, it's better to adopt what we call crossover learning or outdoor learning, to take the students and go out to nature and do some activities to do, for instance, make some measurements of the temperature, measurements of humidity, etc. So that's why we talk about contextual and locally relevant learning. And although there is no universal model of education for sustainable development exists, there is a broad agreement of the characteristics of such education. Education and development should be interdisciplinary, it should be holistic, it should be value-driven. It should promote critical thinking, problem solving, include a variety of learning and teaching methods, and encourage participation collaboration. It must reflect all three dimensions of sustainable development: economic, social, and environmental. And environmental problems require an interdisciplinary and integrated approach. Is what I said before, that students should be involved in a local or habitat, for instance, that could be a forest or a park, in the effort to develop an awareness and concern for the environment. So it's important for students to learn how to adopt lifestyles that respect the environmental resources. Very important, the role of ethics. Ethics, environmental education. It's important for educators to realize the importance of ethics in STEM education also. Ethics can be incorporated in STEM through the use of well-formulated questions and discussion. According to UNESCO, many of the most important ethical predicaments the world community is facing today arise in connection with science, scientific research, and the development applications of new technologies. So STEM education ideally would be based on interventions by students with the purpose of providing resolutions to environmental problems. Um, uh, that means that when we discuss about a problem, environmental problem, with our students, we don't give them solutions. Students should find the solutions. Um, and when we talk, there are this example of intervention is CBIN is a site was created by a pair of Australian surfers to clean up solid and no biodegradable rubbish from partially enclosed water areas, as marinas and waterways. And there are also many other web-based activities that are involved with technology and environmental awareness. So, environmental awareness is grounded in the belief that if individuals learn how to make informed decisions, they will do so. Environmental education is further rooted in the belief that humans can live compatibly with nature and act equitably towards each other. And another fundamental belief is that people can make informed decisions that consider future generations and reflect the changing circumstances. So environmental education aims for a democratic, inclusive society in which effective environmental literate community members possess a sense of empowerment and agency and participate with creativity and responsibility. Ultimately, ensuring environmental literacy is a vital societal goal must play an integral role throughout education systems at the national, tribal, and state level in every classroom. Environmental education also framework it's necessary because it would offer a vision of environmental education that makes sense within educational systems and promotes progress towards sustainable health environment and the quality of life. So when we talk about environmental literacy, what is environmental literacy? Environmental literacy depends on learners' ability to ask questions, to speculate, hypothesize about the world around them, to seek information, develop answers to the questions. Learners must be familiar with what we call inquiry, and challenge-based learning, and problem-based learning, and project-based learning. So they must be able to master fundamental skills for gathering and organizing information, to interpret and synthesize information, to develop and communicate explanations. There are some set of skills. First of all, the skills of questioning, analysis, interpretation skills, questioning, design investigations, collecting information, evaluating accuracy and reliability, organizing and analyzing information, working with model simulations, drawing conclusions and developing explanations. Environmental literacy is dependent on understanding of the processes, systems that comprise the environment, including human social systems and influences. So students develop an understanding of how changes in one system, for instance hydrosphere and atmosphere, results in changes in another. They develop an understanding of how human activities affect environmental quality and long-term sustainability at local, national, and global levels. And environmental literacy includes the abilities to define, to learn about, evaluate, and act on environmental issues. Students investigate environmental issues, they consider evidence and different viewpoints, evaluate proposed action plans, including likely effectiveness in specific environmental, cultural, socio-economic contexts. They analyze the consequences of their own actions and actions taken by other individuals and groups, including long-term environmental, socio-economic implications for sustainability. And this set of skills, skills for understanding and addressing environmental literacy, have two subcategories. First of all, we talk about identifying and investigating issues, sorting out the consequences of issues, identifying and critiquing alternative solutions and courses of actions, and working with flexibility, creativity, and openness. There is also another set of skills, what we call decision making and action skills. This is related to environmental awareness, and this has to do about how to form, evaluate personal views, how to evaluate the need for action, how to plan and take action, evaluate the results of actions. Another set of skills is called personal and civic responsibility, and this includes recognizing rights and responsibilities, recognizing efficacy and develop agency, accepting personal responsibility. Now we can see, it's interesting to see some best practices of schools and institutions all around the world who combine environmental and STEM education. For instance, we have a case of El Paso community, and here in sixth grade, students measure temperature changes in ambient air compared to carbon dioxide to understand the greenhouse effect and foundation of climate change. So what they do, they create public service announcement about the climate issues for the school news channel and their families. The students in seventh grade use scientific databases about cities with high air pollution levels to examine the relationship between income, education, and health. And this way they propose reasons why environmental conditions and poverty affect the health. Another program, which is called Bridging the Gap program, which brings together environmental science and aboriginal concepts of stewardship and gives students from university schools opportunity to visit local natural areas. So in this way, the study of its habitat is divided into three sections, beginning with discussion with an Aboriginal elder, followed by a hike, concluding with a recording of information into data booklets. In California, it's another program where students develop water solutions, measuring the safety of drinking water, applying intelligent planting techniques to conserve water in parched areas, testing water and soil samples to help protect the local watershed. And then there are many hands-on activities, solution-based projects. So cold water Classroom Challenge is a project-based competition that is offers teachers and students opportunity to facilitate learning of standards-based content. This class-based project explores water as a global and local resources while tackling a local water problem, individual community-based endeavor. Many other cases, for instance, with the measure Centerville Elementary, is ethnically diverse public school, and second graders have a butterfly garden, while fourth graders study the state's indigenous plants in the garden that have created as a topographically accurate map of Virginia. And third and fifth graders grow product that is sold at the weekly school farmers market. And this market is a partnership with a local farmer who helps the students with their agricultural efforts and sells the product alongside students. This way, students meet with school cafeteria managers and administrators to ensure the proposals meet with success. In Hawaii, also, is another case. Students are encouraged to choose an issue important to them, the community. They learn how to write research questions, and middle school teachers are hard pressed to find age-appropriate content on complex environmental issues, that is very important to mention. And Craggy Lake, we have also Arizona project and many other projects. So, here is what we have done with Massivus during the COVID pandemic. It's called the contribution of technology, the protection of our health. This concerns the quality of life of residents of large cities, where the most common type of living abode is an apartment within a large apartment building. In this project, we try to examine the nuisance factors of an apartment and more specifically noise pollution and the harmful factors of gaseous environment of the apartment, such as carbon monoxide, smoke, dust. So a militarized model of an apartment was constructed, and sound detection sensors as well as carbon monoxide detection sensor was installed in it. So the STEM technology used was an Arduino microcontroller, a connection board with resistors, LEDs, data measurement display. The goal of this project is to improve the quality of life of people living in modern homes and protect psychological and physical health. At the same time, of course, this project was interdisciplinary still because it involved physics, technology, mathematics, engineering, and art. Apart from that, I am the founder of many international innovative projects, STEM projects, humanitarian projects, based on STEM development goals implemented mostly in Africa and Asia. Recently, I wrote from my position here at the Greek Ministry of Education a new environmental program which is called SOS, We're Changing the Earth's Climate. It's addressed to students, primary school students, and it aims to raise awareness, children's awareness of the climate change. It combines, why it is original, because it combines environmental education, STEM education, and art. It's based on 5 SDGs called education, sustainable cities and communities, climate action, land life, peace, justice, and strong institutions. A thematic axis of this project are climate zones of the Earth, natural factors that affect climate in a place, anthropogenic factors that influence climate in Greece, anthropogenic factors that affect climate in different parts of the world, and proposals to reverse the negative impact of human activities on the Earth's climate. Of course, what are the goals of this is students will be able to get acquainted with various ways in which humans intentionally or unintentionally affect the Earth's environment. They will realize their own involvement and responsibility towards climate problems, and will cultivate the creativity to find solutions for a world without environmental programs. Of course, they will have the opportunity to experiment, to create and collaborate, to solve authentic problems, express themselves artistically, utilizing experientially exploratory discovery learning methods, collaborative approaches, and using digital tools. Knowledge-related objectives, examine solutions proposed by scientists that will get involved in authentic problem-solving processes, develop a critical thinking, cultivate creativity through STEAM activities. They'll be able to be aware of human interventions that negatively affect the Earth's climate, to realize that we all have a responsibility to protect the Earth's climate, and to comprehend that solutions can also come from non-environmentalists to try and think of ways to protect the Earth's climate. In many cases, there are students who have amazing ideas, have created amazing STEM projects, and they have been awarded in the National Olympiads. An example of activities that have been integrated in this program contains experiments to simulate weather phenomena that occur in Greece and other places, measurements of temperature, pressure, humidity, with tools such as thermometers, barometers, rain gauges, building a mini meteorological station, references to the ancient Greek myths and folk traditions, artistic activities. And of course, this program aims to highlight environmental issues, to inform and sensitize teachers and students about the phenomenon of climate change, cultivate the concept of active citizenship, and in this way, students will be encouraged to deal systematically with scientific environmental issues from an early age, enhancing their social sensitivity, their ecological consciousness, and their environmental responsibility. Apart from this, and the founder said before, many humanitarian programs in Africa. One was about water and threat. It was a very challenging program. It was a STEM project to students who didn't have any school supplies at all. Main challenge, how to talk about water to students who are thirsty. However, the impact of the project was huge because we managed to obtain sanitation filter equipment from donors USA, and also 6 wells per day in areas of Malawi, where students have to walk about 90 minutes to find clean water to drink. So even if we don't have the necessary technological infrastructure in order to do STEM, we can still make amazing STEM project if we use what we call STEM unplugged. That means you can use simply everyday materials that you can find in your house, such as cardboard or clay, and still you can teach, for instance, principles of physics or other functions, even if you don't have necessary equipment. Another project is in India. It has also great impact because educators, inspired educators, have visited slums and educated their families about what could be the healthy food combination kinds of food shortage. And for this project, I have over 200 awards. I was selected among the best teachers in the world, the Global Teacher Prize, Global Teacher Award, and that's Global Icon. Thank you very much for your attention. Of course, for any questions, your disposal.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mom. Um, we were once again learned and heard about sustainable development goals. It is one of the most important thing that the entire world should know about, including the children nowadays. So it's not that easy to sustain whatever things that we have on earth, but we really have to take care of it and sustain it. Maintaining really is not that easy, but it is all our obligation as human being. The four pillars that you have mentioned as to human sustainability, economic sustainability, social sustainability, and environmental sustainability, they all play very important role in our world, in our environment as to human being to take care of really. And we really keep on reminding our students as teachers. Me personally as a teacher, I believe that these things really starts at home, and they are more reiterated and uh, constantly and repeatedly reminding the teachers, reminding all these students so that they will really keep and put importance to these things. I know for sure that all the people around the world wants a better place and wants a better place to live in. So we thank you so much, Mom, for sharing this webinar lessons to all of us, so that somehow we will keep on reminded about the importance of our environment, about sustaining the humanity and the place where we live in. So there, guys, I hope that you have learned a lot of things from Mom Rania tonight, and you are reminded of once again. Any more, Mom, that you want to say before we will be posting? Probably, if there will be any questions that will be raised by the participants. And if it happens that you have any question, you can raise them by putting your questions in our chat box so that we will be reading it for you for our speaker. All right. And later on, we will also be having our quiz. And I hope that in every activities that we will be doing, you will also participate. Have you learned anything yet already in our lesson tonight, guys? Did you learn anything? I hope so, because we had an interesting topic. And we must be really be aware of the importance of the world that we are living in. Is it not? Ma'am Rania, you still want something?
I think it's a crucial topic, especially when we talk about climate change. Here in Greece, last summer we had many important issues. The majority of our forests were destroyed, and I was in danger too. So, in other countries also, in the Philippines, we had some problems with typhoons, etc. So, all these environmental issues concerns us all. It's not something theoretical because we are all responsible for how to tackle them. We
Okay.
must be aware of them.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Rania, once again. Our speaker from Greece who talk about building STEM skills through environmental education. And along with this one, she reiterated, keep on reminding us about the importance of sustainable developmental goals. A virtual applause for our speaker for tonight. And please watch out, Ma'am Rania, for the questions that the participants will be raising. Thank you so much, Ma'am, once again. Back to you, Ma'am Nishin. All right, there you go. I hope that you really have learned something. Now it is time for quiz competition. Are you ready, guys? We will be having competition for tonight. All right, get ready. I hope that you will get all. All right. Please join our quiz tonight. Our quiz is found at www.slido.com, code IGP quiz, link in the comment box. You can join our quiz for tonight. Flash on the screen, I should say, are the list of names who are actively participating in our webinar and actually have won. So congratulations to one and all. Let us continue reading what is flashed on the screen. Okay, so we will be having our quiz and to be found at www.slido.com, code IGP quiz, link in comment box. Guys, after the quiz for tonight, we will be having question and answer. So you will be posting again your questions later on in our chat box after the quiz so that our speaker will address whatever questions we will be raising. Okay, so join the quiz, everybody. The following people, you are all invited. And your names, when your names are posted on the wall, it means congratulations. Once again, join at slido.com, code IGP quiz, link in comment box. All right. Okay. Let us join the quiz tonight. By the way, thank you so much, guys, for always participating in our webinars. Um, Truly, IGP provides us learnings so that we can better um, lift up and learn more things and develop our skills. It's important for us to feed our skills. It's not only based on knowledge, but we also have to develop our skills. Okay, people flash on the screen. Please join the quiz. Thank you so much. All right, there you go. Once again, I'm going to read to you where we can find our quiz for tonight as well. Aside from flashing it on the screen later on, found at www.slido.com, code IGP quiz, link in comment box. So we will be waiting for Ma'am Nishin to flash the quiz. All right? All right. So the following questions are being flashed on the screen, I should say, wherein the answers could be human capital and the second one is capital goods. I want to make it larger. All right. Okay. So the answer is human capital. 89% of the participant got it correctly. Thank you so much. Very nice. The second question. Okay. So our leaderboard there. Now let's proceed to the second question. Define environmental sustainability. How do you define environmental sustainability? Strategies that are environmentally sustainable and okay, the second one, practices. So what could be your answer? Is it A or B? All right. So 67% of you answered the first one and only 32%, 33% answered the second option. The answer is the second option. Very good. Anyway, better luck next time. The third question we have here. So we'll be having 15 questions all in all. This is the third question. There are two options to choose from. First one, smoking or vaping is, I'm so sorry. I really can't read well. It's not too clear from my end. So 88% answered correctly, and the rest 12% answered the second option. The first one is the correct one. All right, there you go. Your name flashed on the leaderboard. Next question, number 4. Which is environmental factor that can cause a birth defect? Alcohol and gene defect. Which one could be your answer? Is it A or B, or first one or second one? All right, so 88, 66 answered the first one, and the second one, we have 34. The answer is the first one, alcohol. So beware, guys, especially ladies getting pregnant. Do not drink alcohol when you're pregnant. There. Next question. All right, the first one or the second one? You can put your answer on the chat box. You can please join us also? Answer the questions and put your answers on our chat box. Is it the first one or the second one? All right, there you go, guys. 81% answered the first one, and the second one, we have 19%. The answer is the first option. Congratulations. 5 out of 10. So we are now number 6 question. We only have 10 questions, by the way, not 15. Okay, so your answer could be yes or no with this question. Is the question yes, or would it be a no for your answer? There you go. 85% answered yes, when in fact the answer is actually no. Less than. Okay, so we have no as should be the answer for this question. For our leaderboard, 6 out of 10. Congratulations for the leading person, leading participant. We are now on number 7 question. Get ready, guys. Okay. So there, number 7 question. There are again 2 options to choose from for your answer. Would it be the first one or would it be the second one? There. So what could be your answer? Will it be the first one? Why did it hang out already? Hang up. Okay, there. The answer is the first option. The participants answered the first one mostly. So congratulations for the winner according to our leaderboard. That is for the 7th question. We are now moving on to the 8th question. Get ready, guys. The options for your answers. Answer will be either true or false. What could be your answer? Is it true? The question, will it be true or is it false? There you go, guys. As you can see from the screen, 78% got or answered true, and the remaining number 24% answered false. For our leaderboard, the highest scorer, congratulations once again. We are now moving forward to number 9th question. Get ready again. We have 2 options, just the same. So which one could be your answer? Is it the first one or the second one? I hope that you're enjoying our quiz for tonight. This is our 9th question. So there you go. The result is actually lower than the lower than the wrong answer. Okay, so the first one is the correct answer. Okay, so 49 of you participants got it correctly. Now, congratulations once again for those who are in our leaderboard. Now, we are moving forward to the 10th question, the last question, wherein we have 2 options again. I hope that you're reading the questions clearly from your screen. I would like you to choose your answer whether it is number 1 or number 2. Kumabasa. All right. What is your answer? The first one is actually 33% of the participant answered first one, the first option, and the 67% or the remaining percent, they answered the second one. Actually, the correct one is the first option. Wow. That is the last question. And wow, congratulations, Ugyen Tushmu. I think this one is from Japan. Congratulations, sir or mom, for winning our quiz for tonight. A round of applause for you, virtual applause for you, sir or mom. Okay, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed our quiz for tonight. You were given 10 points. And if you participated, again, congratulations. Whether you won or not, you enjoyed at least. Thank you so much. Get ready for our question and answer. You may post your question so that our speaker will be answering your question. Whatever questions you would like to raise regarding the topic that we have discussed a while back on the sustainable development goals and the STEM development goals that the speaker talked about. Are we getting ready? Thank you so much. Again, the quiz was found and was posted under the slido.com. Once again, congratulations, quiz competition winners, top 10. So your names were posted on the leaderboard, and I hope that you're not only after the winning, but you were after the enjoyment also and learning, of course. As you learn, you enjoy, you also participate. And thank you for the participation. Back to you, Ma'am Nashin. What will be the next activity? Uh-huh. You are enjoying our lesson and our webinar. You may put your question on our chat box. Whatever question you would like to ask our speaker. Once again, our speaker is Ma'am Rania Lampu from Greece, and she talked about building STEM skills through environmental education. So she keeps on repeating the importance of environmental education to our students, to our children. Of course, we believe, as I have said a while back, we believe that education or these things begins at home. But then again, teachers have a very big and vast role about teaching this the importance of environmental education to our students and children. Now we want to have a better place to live in, which is why we have to do our part as human being. It has been internationally decided that we will we will look forward, or we will take care of our place where we are living in. Okay, any question about the topic that was discussed a while back? All right. Once again, congratulations, winners. There you go. Get ready for our question and all right. So let's get ready with the question, Mom. According to Rail. Okay. Good evening, Mom Rania. Which of the four pillars of sustainability, in your opinion, is the best or least important? Again, good evening, Mom Rania. Which of the four pillars of sustainability, in your opinion, is the least important?
Mhm. Actually, my opinion is that we cannot place one pillar over another. I think that the four pillars are important, the same. For instance, when we talk about business and environmental uh, pillar, this environmental sustainability, this has to do with how companies now try to adopt actions and policies that do not harm the environment. That's why we talk today about green entrepreneurship. We talk about social entrepreneurship or inclusive entrepreneurship. All these new types of business activities that show that the company's performance should not be based anymore on profit and on money, but on how its activities do not harm and protect the environment. So I think that uh, human sustainability is important because each of us, each one of us, should adopt lifestyles that protect the environment. Social sustainability is very important because through social activities, through our participation in NGOs, through active citizenship, we can change a lot. And also, as I said before, environmental and economic sustainability, of course, because if social sustainability focuses on improving social equality, economic sustainability aims to improve the standard of living. So I think we can say that one is more important than the other. This is my opinion.
Wow. Okay, yes. You cannot put anything of or any of those four pillars aside. You have to put them together and let them work all together as one. They are all important, I mean. Okay, any more question that we would like to ask for our speaker for tonight? Oh my gosh. Okay, any more questions that you would like to ask to our speaker for tonight? This one, the one that is flashed on the screen, is not actually a question, but it's actually thanking all the participants for joining in this webinar. And we thank you so much for joining. Unless you have any more question for Ma'am Rania to answer. I have a personal question though, Ma'am, if it's okay. In Greece, at the moment in time, how are you, how is your condition, or how are you, what is your condition now as to sustainable developmental goals,
Mhm,
Ma'am?
mhm. Well, traditionally, Greece lags behind other European countries in terms of environmental policies, but we try to be aligned now with the green agenda. The green agenda is of the European Union, which tries to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So our government tries to adopt some and to create a new framework and to be aligned, harmonized with this green agenda. But of course, before there are a lot to be done because in Greece we had many cases of corruption, many cases of lack of effective mechanism, efficient mechanism. So we are a lot behind in terms of this sustainability. But in terms of curriculum, school curriculum, there is a big progress because the minister announced the new cognitive discipline this year, which is called the Labs of Skills. And this includes 22 thematic sessions and there environmental education, STEM education, robotics, and entrepreneurial education are included. So it's a big step for Greece usually behind in terms of reforms. And of course, as I said before, we have many cases of wildfires before the last of arsons. Last summer, the majority of our forests were destroyed because of arsons and corruption. So I think there's a lot to be done, and this should start, of course, from education.
Ay, wow. I think we have the same problem. I am actually from the Philippines, and really, as you have mentioned, and as we are learning internationally, we are campaigning the importance of sustainable developmental goals or developmental goals. So really, we really have to fight and fight against many things to promote and to save our earth or Mother Earth. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for answering
Thank
those
you.
questions. Once again, our speaker for tonight, Ms. Rania Lampu from Greece, to talk about building STEM skills through environmental education. We thank you for sharing your knowledge and giving our imparting to us what you know about this thing. And I am sure that the participant learned so much from you, ma'am. A virtual applause once again for Ma'am Rania for sharing her knowledge and skills. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much for this great opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So watch out, guys. Our how we're going to disseminate our certificate for tonight or anytime after the webinar. Back to Ma'am Nishin, we will be uploading to you in our screen how you're going to take and get your certificate, but you have to do something. All right. Thank you for raising question. I really hope that you have posted more question for the speaker, but then probably um, you know so much about SDGs already. Natibagbagak. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. All right, we are globally accredited. Today's certificate process, please go to www.edu.igp.com. Today's date is July 3, 2022. Um, for our instruction, certificate code required, today's program's name is Building STEM Skills Through Environmental Education. The code for tonight's webinar, IGP 7025, or again, code IGP 7025. Without code, no one is eligible for certificates. So I hope that you will take down note of the code so that you may be able to take your certificate. With code again, you can claim your certificate anytime. So please take note of this one. Once again, the code for tonight's webinar, code IGP7025. The date for tonight's webinar, do not forget, it's July 3, 2022. Once again, thank you so much for participating. I hope that you will claim your certificate. It's not only that, but I hope that you have learned something from the webinar that we have had tonight. Um, that is your e-takeaways, that is your reward, the certificate. But most of all, I hope that you have learned something. So once again, my name is Maria Cristina Asbucan. I am from the Philippines. I am the host for tonight, and thank you so much for giving me the chance for being your host tonight. Once again, goodbye, and thank you so much. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Long live. Bye-bye. Good night.